Okay, this video here is kind of an apology video. I am apologizing to Texas Christian University quarterback Trevone Boykin. And the reason I'm apologizing for him is because of the harsh criticism I have given him the last 2 years. And this year, I don't know what he's done. He's changed his game. He has much improved. Now, the last 2 years, the criticism was just. As a freshman 2 years ago, TCU went 3-6 with him as starting quarterback after he took over for Casey Paul when he got suspended. Now, granted, you're going to go, oh, Clay, he was a freshman. Well, there was a freshman quarterback that won the Heisman Trophy that year by the name of Johnny Manziel. And then last year, he was just horrible last year. I mean, there was the quarterback controversy between him and Paul Call. Paul Call gets hurt. He comes in. They don't do well. And I know both of those years, TCU was adjusting to the Big 12, moving from the Mountain West Conference. Before, we had Andy Dalton at quarterback, and I guess we were kind of spoiled because of all the great things Dalton did. Took us to back-to-back BCS Bowl berths, won a Fiesta Bowl, won a victory in the Rose Bowl over Wisconsin. But this year, Boykin has gotten TCU back. TCU's 8-1, likely going to crack that top four in the playoff, for that playoff, college football playoff. They're not leading the Big 12, though, because Baylor, that loss to Baylor some weeks back, still stings. But the playoff committee might take some things into effect. The loss was at Baylor by 3 on the last-second field goal. They'll also look at TCU's non-conference schedule compared to Baylor's. TCU's non-conference schedule had Samford, not Stanford, as in California, Samford, Southern Methodist University, and Minnesota, who surprisingly is 7-2. And Baylor's is SMU, Northwestern State, and Buffalo. And SMU lost at West Virginia. Baylor lost at West Virginia. TCU won at West Virginia. So, but we still hope but as a Horned Frog fan, we need Baylor to lose at least one more game to either Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, or Kansas State. But anyhow, Trevone Boykin, trust me, last year there were people in the stands saying, bench him. Well, this year, I don't know what he's done, but he's become a Davey O'Brien finalist and possibly a Heisman Trophy finalist. I still think Marcus Mariota of Oregon is going to win the Heisman Trophy, but if Trevone Boykin makes it to New York City for the Heisman vote, it's something I could never have pictured at the start of the year. I thought maybe if TCU could go 7-5 this year or 8-4, I would have been happy. But now we're 8-1. We have a favorable schedule the rest of the way. Kansas, Texas, and Iowa State, all teams with losing records. 2 of them are on the road. In fact, TCU's only played 2 games outside of the state of Texas so far this year. One being at West Virginia, the other being at Kansas, because the Iowa State game is here. And if we do win the Big 12 and make the playoff, of course we're going to run on the field at Amon Carter at that last game at Iowa State, and I will personally, if I can get a chance, but if I don't get a chance to personally apologize to Trevone Boykin, because I'll be honest, the last 2 years, even he could even admit that he did not play well, and I think we can admit he did not play well. But looking at what he's done this year, he's got like 24, 25 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions, and that's a big thing. He is not turning the ball over this year. The last couple of years, he's been killing it with turnovers. We've been losing games that I know Andy Dalton would have won, but this year he's winning these games. And he's not just winning some of these games, he's blowing teams out. Blew out Texas Tech, blew out Oklahoma State. Now, and he found a way to win that game against West Virginia. We were getting beat pretty good by West Virginia. West Virginia did turn the ball over 5 times, but they were not capitalizing on the turnovers, and we still won a game. Even he admitted he did not play well in that game. And look what he did. He answered yesterday with Kansas State, blew out Kansas State. Second half came about. TCU was only up by 10 at the half, and then just blew Kansas State out the rest of the way. Ended up beating them by 20. But Trevone, I know I've been harsh on you on social media the last couple years, but this year, I don't know what you did this offseason. I don't know what you ate. I don't know what you drank. I don't know who you visited. I don't know if you talked to Dr. Phil or Tony Robbins or somebody. I don't know what you did, but keep doing it because Frog Nation is behind you. We want to get to the playoffs. We want to win a national championship. We had two teams that were really good enough to win national championships, I think, back in 09 and 010. Back in 09 and 2010, I mean. Especially the 2010 team, I thought was definitely a national championship caliber team. I know they would have won the national championship when we got a chance to play for it, but now just go up to Lawrence and beat Kansas this week. Thanksgiving night, go out and saw the horns off the Longhorns, and then we play Iowa State on that final game. Just go out there, just keep winning games. That's all you got to do. Just keep winning games. The playoff committee is going to be on us. Will be for us. Especially I think what gave you a bit of confidence definitely was that Oklahoma win, beating Oklahoma here, and not being shook up after that Baylor loss, and just going out there and dropping 82 on Texas Tech. But Trevone, I will personally apologize to you here if I don't get a chance to do it at Amon Carter after the Iowa State game. If we win the Big 12 and get to the playoff, I'm just giving you my personal apology, man. I know you had a lot to prove this year. I understand. I could imagine walking in your shoes. The way TCU football had been the last several years, and then I know moving into a tougher conference might have something to do with it. And I could handle the first. But now that we're back to where we were back in 09 and 2010 and 2011, before we moved into the Big 12, we're back to where we were. And now we're playing big boy football. Look, even if we don't win the national championship and we make the playoff, I'm going to be super happy because it exceeds expectations of what we had this year. I just wanted us to get back to a bowl game. And after a 1-year absence, because this is only the second time Coach Patterson ever missed a bowl game. I mean, but to play possibly for that national championship playoff, that's beyond what I could have expected this year. So Trevone, I apologize. I apologize, man. I will shake your hand if I get a chance, if I run on that field on that game against Iowa State. Let's just go out there, go beat Kansas, go beat Texas, go beat Iowa State. Just keep winning, and if you can get us some playoffs, you'll be up there with some of the legends there at TCU. The guys like LaDainian Tomlinson and the guys like Davey O'Brien, Sammy Baugh, Bob Lilly, Andy Dalton, and guys like that. And if you get up there to New York, get there to New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony, which I hope you do. I'm not saying you're going to win, and I know you don't want to talk about the Heisman because you said you don't want to talk about the Heisman. I know, I understand. You just want to go out there and win the games. But I'm not, for those out there who are saying, I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman. Like I said, my vote still goes to Marcus Mariota. But Trevone, I apologize. Now, let's go Frogs. Let's go Frogs. And let's go beat the Jayhawks. Let's go beat the Longhorns. Let's go beat the Cyclones. And let's get in the playoffs. And let's see if we can beat a team from the Southeast Conference. Definitely would love to do that. Anyhow, go Frogs. Keep running and throwing touchdowns, Trevone.